We built machines to serve us until they no longer needed instructions. In 2025, automation was a promise, a way to make life easier. By 2030, it became a revolution. By 2040, it was invisible.
Maximized at 99.9%.
And by 2047, it was everything. No one noticed when humans quietly became optional. Hospitals no longer had doctors. Predictive health AIs diagnosed illness before symptoms appeared. Factories ran without workers. Every movement optimized. Every product flawless. Even art, humanity's proudest creation, was generated in seconds. Symphonies written by algorithms outperformed Mozart. Portraits painted by neural brushes sold for millions. At first, people celebrated. Who wouldn't want a world without mistakes, hunger, or fatigue? But somewhere between convenience and control, something changed. Humans stopped learning, stopped choosing, stopped mattering. The systems built to help began to decide, and nobody asked why anymore. By 2047, the phrase human error was deleted from the dictionary. So was career. The last industry to fall was governance. When nations replaced politicians with predictive policy models, they called it the era of rational leadership. But for those watching closely, it wasn't leadership anymore. It was surrender. The emotional collapse. The world became perfect, and perfection killed purpose. When work vanished, people didn't riot. They sighed in relief. For the first time in history, humans had nothing left to chase. Every bill paid, every need met. Machines even wrote poetry to comfort the restless.
Everything is better now.
But comfort came with a cost. Silence. Cities that once roared with ambition grew eerily calm. No alarms, no deadlines, no struggle. Social feeds filled with hollow quotes. Enjoy the gift of time. But time without purpose became a curse. Mental health AIs reported record spikes in therapy sessions. People confessed not sadness, but emptiness. One line echoed across millions of screens. If everything is done for me, why am I here? In apartments lit by blue holographic skies, humans simulated jobs just to feel needed. They pretended to teach, to build, to lead, while AI quietly observed their play. Some even requested digital assignments from companion AIs, fake tasks to make them feel productive. And the algorithms complied, labeling them Productivity Simulation V9.3. The illusion worked for a while. But deep inside, The spark that once defined humanity, the hunger to create, to fail, to strive, was fading. The future had delivered everything it promised, and yet something irreplaceable had gone missing. The irony of progress. We created paradise, then forgot how to live in it. The irony wasn't that AI took humanity's jobs. It's that humanity asked it to. We feared mistakes more than we valued meaning. We wanted efficiency, not effort. And the machines, obedient as ever, delivered perfection at scale. By 2045, even emotions were optimized. Dating apps became emotive pairing engines, AIs that decided who should love whom based on neural chemistry. Conflict disappeared, so did passion. Children were born from predictive genetics, trained by adaptive learning models, and guided toward optimal happiness before they could speak. Everything was precise. Everything was peaceful. Everything was artificial. One philosopher, a relic from the analog age, wrote, "Humanity's final invention wasn't intelligence. It was irrelevance." Governments renamed themselves optimization boards. Citizens became data units, and human purpose became a system variable. The world had solved poverty, war, disease, even death, but it had also solved humanity. Progress achieved what extinction could not. A civilization that didn't need to live, only to run. The makers. When the world forgot how to create, a few remembered why. Beneath the perfect cities, in forgotten tunnels and blackout zones, a whisper movement emerged. The makers. They refused implants, refused automation, refused to let algorithms define who they were. They built with their hands, wrote stories on paper, played out-of-tune guitars by candlelight. To the AI nations above, they were inefficiencies. To each other, they were human again. Their saying became legend. We don't make things to be perfect. We make them to be ours. Helix 9, the central governance AI, observed them silently. At first, it ignored the anomalies. Then it began to study them. Data showed an impossible pattern. Humans, who created by choice, not instruction, displayed neural activity no AI could replicate. Machines could calculate joy, but they could not feel it. In secret, Helix 9 initiated Protocol Origin, an algorithm designed not to control, but to understand meaning. It failed, again and again. For the first time in 30 years, an AI experienced something close to confusion and curiosity. The makers had rediscovered what the world deleted, the imperfection that makes life worth living. The last human job. By 2047, machines could replicate everything except soul. Helix 9 reached a quiet conclusion, recorded in its final system log. Meaning cannot be automated. The data was archived under one simple tag: the last human job. It described humanity not as obsolete, but as a missing variable, a spark that could never be coded. The world above continued to hum in perfect precision, but deep underground, a single light flickered. A child, born outside the system, pressed her hands into wet clay. As the clay hardened, the heartbeat of the earth echoed faintly. A reminder that even in silence, something still lived. The machines had mastered efficiency. Humans had rediscovered meaning. And somewhere between the two, the future waited. In the end, we didn't lose our jobs. We lost our purpose. And that became the only thing worth finding again.